talk about it. Cue that intro. What is going on, my beautiful fragrance family? I hope each and every one of you are doing frickin' fantastic today. And welcome back to My2Scents. My name is Brian, and this is the channel all about helping boost your confidence through the art of fragrance and helping you become a lasting scent memory. As you probably already know, I am a huge fan of the House of ARGOS. And recently they released Adonis Awakens, another fragrance within their artist series. And this time the artist that is being represented is John W. Waterhouse, who painted this right here. Well, he didn't. Christian Petrovich painted this one, but John Waterhouse is the artist behind the presentation that you saw earlier. Before we get into this review and we get into the whiffing and sniffing, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, hit that like button. Hit it, smash it, punch it. Just don't break your computer, don't break your phone, whatever. I don't even know why they say smash the like button. It's not like you actually can smash the like button. Show the like button some love for me. That would be awesome. It really helps my algorithm and helps me get my 2 cents out there. Thank you guys. Now, this was released 2 weeks ago, I think around maybe 2.5 weeks ago. The kind folks over at Argos gifted me a bottle, and I'm so thankful for that. Thank you so much to them. I have now spent an entire week with this. All last week, this is the only fragrance I wore, if you couldn't tell by the dent that I've already put in it. My test drive is over, and now it's time for me to give you my 2 cents. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and break this bad boy down in today's whiffs and sniffs. All right, I'm actually going to wear this as my scent of the day. Again, why? Well, spoiler alert, I freaking love it. I'm going to leave the notes right up here for you. But I mean, look at this presentation. Look at this bottle. It is stinking gorgeous. But it's not about the bottle. It's about the juice. So this is what I get from it. It's a rose fragrance. It is a straight, tried and true, through and through, rose-dominated fragrance. And I absolutely love rose. Now, there is no powdery rose in this. So for those of you who do not like powdery rose fragrances, I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way. No powderiness. It starts out with this bright burst of grapefruit and pink peppercorn. And I get like a pink grapefruit mixed in with that nice spicy and fruity pink peppercorn. So you're getting this nice kind of spicy citrus amongst this beautiful rose. And the rose is a beautiful Bulgarian rose. So when I say that this is a rose-dominated fragrance, I don't want you to kind of misconstrue what I'm saying. Because all the rest of the notes are supporting roles. Because the star of the show is rose. So you get that grapefruit, you get that pink pepper, and then you get that beautiful Bulgarian rose. And then as the heart starts rolling in, I get this really nice nutty jasmine sambac. And when I say nutty, it's almost like what the description says. It has a little bit of like a chestnut quality to it. And that's what I get, almost like a roasted chestnut. And I believe that is coming from the jasmine sambac. You're also getting this really nice raspberry, a nice tart, yet fruity and sweet raspberry. And the sweetness is actually not just coming from the raspberry, it's coming from a beautiful vanilla. I absolutely love the beginning, the middle, and the end of this fragrance. It is beautiful through and through. As it fully dries down, you get more rose. You're getting a rose absolute, which I think is gonna be a combination of like Turkish rose and some other types of rose. But that is all blended splendiferously with a beautiful Mysore sandalwood. And I have realized the one thing that really sets Argos apart and how you can tell it's their DNA, it's the sandalwood. Christian Petrovich has acquired such a beautiful Mysore sandalwood, and it shines in so many of their fragrances. In fact, I need to look back and see, I think sandalwood's pretty much in every one of their fragrances. And I can see why. Because the way that Christian blends that in with the rest of the ingredients creates this creamy and succulent dry down. Yes, I said succulent because this is a very sexy and alluring fragrance. 100% unisex. 1,000,000,000% unisex. But not only in the dry down are you getting that sandalwood, I also get some really nice clean and sexy musks, but I also get a lot of that beautiful rose absolute. This is a tried and true, like I said, rose fragrance. From the top to the bottom, you're going to get that rose. Now, if you're not a fan of rose, I still suggest at least getting your nose on this, getting a sample, little decant of it. Now I know you can get the discovery sets over at Argos, and you can always use my 10% off discount code to purchase bottles or discovery sets. It's always down in the description. But Adonis Awakens not only is a beautiful fragrance, in my opinion, I think Argos has the best looking presentations, the best looking bottles on the market. I know some people out there are like, oh, they're too expensive. And I get that. They are. They're not cheap. I'll leave the prices for the bottles on the screen for you. But when it comes to a presentation like this, in my opinion, I think it's 100% worth it. You get a work of art. All these plaques right here, hand painted. I don't even want to know how long it takes just to hand paint these. All these little, stones in the plaque. They're hand drilled in there and then placed inside. You look at the back of the bottle here, you can see you've got your plaque on the back talking about John Waterhouse and Adonis Awakens and how this is Argos and it's the Artist Series number 2. Christian Petrovich and Argos really remind me of a famous man who created an amusement park full of dinosaurs, John Hammond. They spare no expense. Close to $300 for a 100 ml bottle. I will say this, when I get done with any of my Argos bottles, I'm going to keep them. It's not like I'm going to throw them away because you get a work of art. They're freaking gorgeous. Now, let's talk about longevity, performance, projection, and all that jazz. Because I know a lot of you out there are like, oh, well, if it doesn't last long, and I get it. I understand. When you pay so much for a fragrance, you want it to last. You want it to project. You want it to do its job. It's kind of like if you buy a Honda and it only gets 5 miles to the gallon. It's not really worth it. But with Adonis Awakens, I get a good 7 hours of longevity. And a good solid 7 hours of longevity. Really good projection within the first few hours. But there is one thing. One thing about this fragrance. I become anosmic to it. I end up spraying a little bit too much. And I don't really know why or what in the fragrance really causes me to go anosmic. But just the other day I was wearing it, I couldn't smell it anymore, and I got stopped by somebody, and I was 6 hours into the fragrance, and they're like, hey, what are you wearing? You smell fantastic. I was like, oh, sweet, I thought it wasn't working anymore. And sometimes that happens, and it happens to the best of us. I have tons of fragrances that, sometimes I'm like, oh, well, this really isn't working anymore. Apparently, this doesn't have great longevity. It doesn't have great projection. And then somebody will, a couple hours later be like, hey, you smell freaking awesome. I'm like, oh, well, I guess my nose is broken. It's not that your nose is broken. There are certain ingredients and certain fragrances that you just get used to. It is your body's natural way of telling you, hey, all right, we're done smelling this. We want to smell everything else around us. That's pretty much what happens. But there are certain fragrances that I can smell for the entirety of the fragrance. Adonis Awakens, I think, is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scent. In fact, this now has become number 2 in my Argos collection. I do love the entire lineup of Argos, and I would highly recommend you guys, if you have not yet, go over and get yourself a discovery set and find out for yourself. Again, 10% off. If you've tried Adonis Awakens, let me know. Drop me a comment down below. I know that they were releasing it within the discovery sets before they actually released the full bottles. So I know a lot of you out there have already sampled it, you've tried it, and hopefully maybe you picked it up. Let me know. You know what to do. But that's it, guys. Adonis Awaken, I think, is a phenomenal fragrance. I think it is a masterpiece coming from the presentation, the bottle. I mean, I can say this till I'm blue in the face. The best presentation, the best looking bottles on the entire fragrance market. And that's my opinion, okay? That is just my opinion. Let me know what you think. But that is it for me today, guys. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you enjoyed today's content, then do me a favor and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you are stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trails.